shock. This is Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know the voice, you know the name, and you know why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I'm a 23-year-old piece of gold. I'm the Podfather. I'm the current reigning defending Bulletcast champion, just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. This title reign is hashtag forever undisputed. For life, brother. And I got my tag team partner with me. He's my day one-ish. Ladies and gentlemen, creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots, creator of the award-winning Under the Radar. He's the first ever BC champ. Hell, he's a 4-time BC champ. The creator of Mania Madness, the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon!
Yeah, that's a hell of an intro. You gotta,
hey man,
gotta settle down.
I'm fired up, man. I'm ready to go. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Ronnie's taking shots at everybody. She's wilding out there on social media. Becky Lynch is combating her. There was a Fastlane on this day in 2016. We got fan mail. We got Mania Madness. I'm fired up.
Sean, former co-host of the Bulletcast, was supposed to show up today, but it looks as though he's still recovering from Nikki Cross being married.
Oh yes, that is exactly why he is no longer here. All right, so let's hop into this. I put up a tribute to King Kong Bundy and Luke Perry. We didn't say it on the official show here, so R.I.P. to both of those gentlemen. They will be dearly missed. All right, Tommaso Ciampa. Apparently, he needs neck surgery, so most likely he will vacate the. He will vacate the NXT title. I've heard somewhere between 6 to 9, even 12 months of out of action for Ciampa. What are your takes on this since you're the NXT guy?
Well, obviously this sucks. They were going somewhere with the whole Ciampa Gargano storyline. Yes, they got called up to WWE, so maybe they had to, fast forward a couple chapters. But obviously, you never want to have neck surgery. You don't want anything like that to happen. But this might be a good thing in the long run because maybe it's like pushing a reset button, and like Tommaso Ciampa comes back and they can do what they were supposed to do. But I mean, obviously, it's a big deal for NXT to lose their champion. It seems as though they're going towards some sort of match at WrestleMania weekend for NXT. So there is one set of TV tapings left, so they have time to clean this up. They don't have to do this all post-production stuff. So obviously, sad news. Hopefully, Ciampa gets healthy. There's photos of him in surgery on WWE or NXT's Instagram channel. I'm not exactly sure which one, if it's WWE or NXT, but all the best to Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes, I hope the Black Heart of NXT gets a very speedy recovery, because we were on the cusp of Johnny Gargano defeating Ciampa for the NXT title. I felt it, I really did. But absence does make the heart grow fonder, so we shall see. But I don't know. Are they doing a tournament for the title?
I don't know. I don't exactly know
I would hope
what
so.
They're doing. I mean, I didn't really want to look at spoilers for what they had leading up to this, so I still don't exactly know what they have done on NXT TV to this point. Yeah. So I'm not going to go too much into what I will speculate what's going to happen, because I don't know what they've done. Because I'm not I like to enjoy NXT as a regular fan. I don't want to see spoilers.
Absolutely.
That's just me. But I mean, a tournament does kind of make sense. They're doing something with Riddle and Velveteen Dream for the North American Championship, so those guys are kind of thrown out there. So obviously Gargano, Cole, some of the major players.
Ricochet's still there.
I mean, Ricochet and Black, I think they're on their way out. So, I mean, if I'm just looking at it, just not really thinking about it, I think Gargano, Cole for the championship, that could be fun, and that could main event a takeover.
This is what you do. I'm an amateur wrestler. I enjoy tournaments. This is what you do. You have a tournament for a King of the Ring style tournament for the NXT Championship, and then at Takeover Brooklyn, we have semifinals and finals on the show. In the finals, it's Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the NXT title, and the leader of the Undisputed Era walks out the champion.
Johnny Failure once again.
Exactly.
And then Johnny Gargano reclaims the championship that he never won. So I don't know how he can reclaim the championship, but he's going to win it at NXT San Jose. That's coming June 8th.
Really?
This summer. It's going to be amazing. The first NXT takeover to happen with no WWE affiliation during that weekend. It's going to be amazing.
When was this announced?
It's not been announced, but it's heavily reported and speculated.
Oh, well, A takeover? San Jose?
I was there for the first takeover in San Jose, so I'll be there for this one.
I've never been to a takeover, so that's gonna be. I'm excited, man. Yeah, I'll be a month removed from Double or Nothing. It's gonna be some good times. All right, let's hop into it. WrestleMania 36 is going to be in Tampa, Florida. Buccaneers gonna show up.
Kairi Sane's going to main event the whole thing, and she's just going to run roughshod on this WrestleMania.
She is. She is going to run wild. That pirate gimmick's going to run wild. Paul Burchill's going to make a return. It's all happening, man.
Everybody.
Oh, yes. All right, Alicia
Fox.
Wow.
This is sad times. This is not a laughing matter, Philip.
Oh, I never said it was a laughing matter. Apparently, she's gone AWOL. You reported this one under the radar. So the reasoning behind the firing of Arn Anderson was because he was the agent or producer for a match she had at a live event, and apparently he allowed her to perform intoxicated. Now, back in the day, that's just what guys did. Hell, Flair went on to have 60-minute Broadways while he was plastered. But these are different times, and serious injuries can and will happen under these types of circumstances. Apparently, WWE offered her rehab, and she just kind of went AWOL. Just no call, no show. So,
yeah, unfortunately, this is a sad situation. I don't exactly know what her drug or drink of choice is, so we don't know exactly what is wrong with her. But obviously, this kind of makes sense of why Arn Anderson got fired. Was this the straw that broke the camel's back, or is this just something that WWE has no, tolerance of, and if anything like this were to happen, the next producer would get fired? Who knows? Seems as though there might be some political stuff behind this Arn Anderson firing, but hopefully Alicia Fox gets help. She gets better. She's been with the company forever, so you would think that she would be receptive to getting help from them. So who exactly knows what's going on with Alicia Fox?
I don't know. Alicia, hopefully you get well. Hopefully you everything gets right in your life, and you get back on track. All right, speaking of Fox, the network, they want WWE to produce an edgier product for when Smackdown moves over there in October.
I'm all for an edgier product. I'm not saying we return to the Attitude Era to where you have to have, Lacey Evans comes out in a string bikini, walking down the ramp. You don't need that.
We don't need bikini contests,
But an edgier product, I can see what they mean. Hopefully, it means kind of like a New Japan. Well, maybe you can sprinkle in some sex stuff occasionally, but hopefully it's tasteful. But it's WWE. I don't have any faith in them.
I don't know, man. I look at it like this: edgier product. Back in the original brand split, Raw was pure entertainment. There was some good wrestling here and there, but SmackDown, that was the wrestling show. But it still kind of is. But once October hits, let's really make it the hard grind wrestling show. We can have a sort of a New Japan style, sure. Let's get a little edgier with these storylines. Let's find out, like, what if Samoa Joe actually went into AJ Styles' house? Let's get deep into stuff like that, man. Let's really go for it. Let's go balls to the wall with this edgier content that Fox wants from SmackDown Live.
You don't want to go full Russo. We'll talk about that later. Never go full Russo.
Hey, bro. Sorry, I apologize. I apologize to all that. Apparently, Dana Warrior joins the WWE creative team. She's not making booking decisions or anything like that, but she's more of a consultant to a woman's image and how they should appear and present themselves on television and in certain scenarios. Thoughts on this?
This one was kind of interesting, a little shocking, to be honest, just because Dana Warrior never really spent any time in the business. Yes, she was married to the Ultimate Warrior, but Warrior wasn't exactly, in the business when she married him. So it's a fine decision to have her on the creative team as kind of a consultant, as kind of having a womanly eye on things. I don't know what Stephanie McMahon's role is in all this, but more eyes, I guess, the better, I would say. But then you can also point to the creative team having 20 people involved, and maybe that's just too many cooks in the kitchen. Jeff Jarrett also seemingly back on the creative team. Bruce Pritchard, who knows what his role is? So WWE getting some maybe not fresh faces, but returning some fresh eyes.
Just go back to when it was just Vince, Pat, and Bruce. Just go back to those days.
And Vince Russo. Bro.
No, McMahon, Pritchard, and Patterson.
Oh, that Vince.
That, yes.
Okay.
There you go. All right, Madison Rayne, she's making her return to Impact Wrestling, former Knockouts champion. I think she won it 5 or 6 times. I believe she was the Knockouts Tag Team Champion over there as well with the Beautiful People, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love. So shout out Madison Rayne, wife of Josh Matthews, former WWE commentator.
Yeah, she spent some time in ROH. ROH is
Women of Honor.
Women of Honor. Exactly, isn't off to a strong start. Not the not exactly what we think of. Women and women's wrestling on the indie scene. That's why kind of AEW. I think right now their weak point is going to be the women's division. We don't exactly know what they have
Dr.
there.
Britt Baker.
I mean, come on. Let's be honest. Dr. Britt Baker, yes, she's the...
That's Adam Cole's baby.
She might be the biggest name, but is she really, compared to WWE? It's nothing compared to what WWE's women's division is.
That's right.
And it's going to be interesting moving forward if there is going to be a big women's jump to AEW, because, let's be honest, the men's division and even the tag team division is probably going to carry a lot of the load, and it's the women's division, you can push them as much as you want, but if you don't have the talent there, it's going to be something that's not going to, no matter how hard you push, it's going to maybe not fail, but not be a main event scene.
It's something to see, we shall see with AEW's women's division.
And shout out to Impact for signing up some talent. They've been making some moves lately.
They have been making moves. Shout out Impact. I'm surprised you guys are still around, but
It's more like re-signing talent than acquiring talent, but
keep what you got. Keep what you got. Make the product hot. All right. Going back to the whole bikini talk, the queen of bikini contests, Torrie Wilson, is going into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, 12-year-old me loved some Torrie Wilson. I'm happy she's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, we say this all the time. The WWE Hall of Fame isn't a real Hall of Fame. It's a show.
Whoa.
It's not a real Hall of Fame.
I mean, so it's funny. I did a top 5 with Chris, and I said Torrie Wilson not a Hall of Famer. Then, a few days later, they throw her in the Hall of Fame. I look at it like this. I've had some time to really think about this whole Hall of Fame thing. I still believe those celebrities should not be in there. I still do believe that. Now, look, the merit of a Hall of Fame, the credentials, it's weird of how you get in there. But I look at it like this: if you had a memorable character, then you go in, I guess. And Torrie Wilson, she's memorable, and she was drop dead gorgeous. cover of Playboy. She had her.
I mean, let's be honest. She's more beautiful now than she was 15 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know how she does it.
It's all that fitness.
It's all that fitness and
she's supposedly
all that fit tea, whatever.
Working out a deal with Stephanie McMahon to come to the company and do some.
She's like the female DDP.
Yeah, Torrie Wilson, the feud with Sable, the weird angle with Al Wilson and Dawn Marie, the whole Jamie Noble thing. She was a memorable character, so I understand why she's going in.
I do find it funny how her video package, yes, there were some wrestling things in there, but for the most part, it was just her parading around in a bikini with her little dog, and it's the whole women's evolution type thing, which, it's Torrie Wilson. I really don't care if she gets into the Hall of Fame or not, but I just thought that was kind of funny.
I'll allow it. I'm fine with it, because, look at it, she doesn't go parading around naked like that now, I think that was just for the time she was in the business, and as far as the in-ring work, the Royal Rumble last year was probably the first time I actually remember her wrestling. I've gone back and looked at some of her clips. As far as being a diva, a real diva fitness model that turned wrestler, she wasn't the worst. She wasn't the worst. There have been others that have been absolutely terrible, but Torrie Wilson wasn't the worst. So
my girl Melina needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't know why Melina's not in the Hall of Fame. Victoria, Luna Vachon, Miss Elizabeth. Was she a wrestler? No, but she's a memorable, iconic character. So if that's what's going to get you into the Hall of Fame, then that's fine. Congratulations to Torrie Wilson. Well deserved. All right, Ronda Rousey eviscerates kayfabe. Now, this is on her YouTube channel or whatever. It was after Monday Night Raw, and she just, damn the man, screw the woo, no more Mrs. Nice Biatch. And she's on her, actually, I think I have the quote here. Let me pull that up. Oh, did you see the video?
I did watch the video. I'm a subscriber to Ronda Rousey's YouTube channel. It's fine. It's interesting. You get kind of an insight into Ronda's personality. She went to the Philly cheesesteak places in Philly for Geno's and Pat's or whatever I don't know.
Natty was there. Shout
Yeah,
out
Natty was there, and apparently they have like a secret back They have like a secret back place to where all the celebrities eat, which was kind of interesting. But anyways, if you pull up the quote, you can.
I have the quote right here. Wrestling is scripted. It's made up. It's not real. None of these biatches can effing touch me. The end. And then Charlotte took to Twitter. And
I did not see this.
Yes. She said, "Can someone please remind Captain Badass here that her last 2 fights before coming to WWE ended with her unconscious and sobbing in the cage. 4 years ago, you were untouchable. Now, not so much. You're a class act." With a rolling eye emoji. So.
I teased it earlier. Ronda's gone full Russo.
Hey!
She's gone full Russo. And, I mean, anybody who thinks that this is Ronda shooting and she's, going into business for herself, maybe she is a little bit, but I think this is all just one big work. I mean, she's not going to go in there and shoot on Becky and Ronda or Becky and Charlotte and break their arm.
Look, I mean, we can really get into that once we talk about the segment, but I have thoughts on...
Well, it's all just one big pot of Vince Russo.
Yes.
Just a pot of Russo right now.
By the way, Workers Shoot, a new podcast coming to the Bulletcast platform. Check it out, coming very soon. All right.
It's always a work. There you go.
Okay.
I just spoiled the whole episode for you.
This day in wrestling, Y2J makes his ECW debut in 1996. There was a Raw on this day in 2004. Chris Angel was the guest GM on Monday Night Raw in 2010. Hogan versus Flair for the last time ever in TNA in 2010 on this day. There was a Smackdown in 2013, and there was a Fastlane on this day in 2016.
Ooh, just packed of history.
Packed of history. Fastlane main event, Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. Winner goes on to face The Game for the Heavyweight Championship of the world. All right, we got some fan mail. Let's hop into it. Blue Rhino. Since China is getting into the WWE Hall of Fame with DX, if you were a wrestler, what female would you have as your heavy or bodyguard? Rhea Ripley.
Right now? Are we going right now or all time?
I think okay. Let's go all time and right now. So for me, right now, I'd have Rhea Ripley. I like her look. She looks badass. And all time,
I think Awesome Kong is one that definitely comes to mind.
I'd go Luna Vachon.
She's a badass. And if we're going to go right now, I think one of my favorite women's wrestlers on the indie scene right now is Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace, she can be my protector whenever she wants.
What's her nickname?
I call her Mama Thickness.
Oh, Mama Thickness.
But I think her real nickname is like Big Mama. Like,
is that really Scott Steiner? I can't believe that.
Big Mama Pump.
That's really Scott Steiner.
Really Scott Steiner's daughter.
The Big Bad Booty Daddy?
Yep.
What?
She's the Big Bad Booty daughter.
I mean, if Mick Foley can produce Noelle, then I guess. Anything's possible. Shout out Noelle and Mick. I love you guys. Love you guys to death. All right, let me unlock the phone here. Get to the next one. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo.
What are your thoughts on two-time WWE Hall of Famers?
I think it's just kind of it's once again it's the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm not putting too much stock into it. It's kind of stupid,
I don't
but
mind it. I mean, look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Michael Jackson's in there twice.
Let's not talk about Michael Jackson right now.
Hey, that man didn't do nothing. We can have that whole conversation here. He didn't. He's not. R. Kelly, confirmed. He's been wilding for years.
Those R. Kelly memes are hilarious, to be honest.
Look, Michael Jackson, he's in there twice for the stuff he did with the Jackson 5, and then for the incredible solo career that he had. So, I mean, like, Ric Flair, amazing solo career, and then the Horsemen. So, I mean...
And then Evolution, and then I don't know what else.
Evolution, my favorite faction of all time. Are they Hall of Fame worthy? Debatable.
I mean, Triple H is in. Any faction Triple H is in, it's going to the Hall of Fame.
The corporation, the corporate ministry.
I mean, I don't have any problem with the two-timer Hall of Famers. I mean, for the most part, for the big timers, Triple H, Ric Flair,
Shawn,
other guys that are probably going to go in there twice. It doesn't really make a difference. I mean, Hulk Hogan might go in there again if NWO gets in, but the core NWO guys are already in there, so it doesn't really make any sense. But anyways, back. I mean, I think it's more for like the lower guys, like Tully and X-Pac and Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. Even though I think individually all those guys should deserve their own like little spotlight, which for the this whole faction type thing, maybe it hurts them because they don't get their time. It's going to be more focused on Triple H and Shawn than it should be X-Pac and Billy Gunn and all them guys.
Shout out X-Pac. He was on Sam Roberts' pod. He said he's keeping his Hall of Fame speech to 5 minutes or less.
Thank God, especially since now it's moved to Saturday.
I know.
I'm not going to watch it anyways. I'm going to be watching the MSG show, so it doesn't really matter to me.
They don't got no talent on there.
Hey, they got a 3-way match for the IWGP Junior title with
I've seen that.
Ishimori, Bandito, and Dragon Lee. It's going to be fantastic. Hopefully Dragon Lee doesn't break anyone's neck.
Yes. Alright, this one came in a few minutes ago. Rated XXX Superstar.
Heyo.
This year's WWE Hall of Fame class features more people naked than we have ever seen previously in any other class. Okay. Alright. Let's move on from that. Mania Madness.
I mean China, but like was Torrie actually do like stuff? I mean, was she like naked? Was she in Playboy where like we saw all the goods hanging out?
It was Playboy in 2003. She was naked.
She was naked. I mean, I'm sorry. I was like what? I was 9, so I wasn't exactly going down to 7-Eleven to get me a Playboy.
Whoa. Hold on.
Anyway, I guess we did see X-Pac naked too, so yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I
made Playgirl. So, oh god. All right, Mania Madness.
Maybe he does have a point there.
Mania Madness. Let's hop into it.
Maybe they should put Paige in the Hall of Fame too.
Oh my! Whoa.
Oh, okay, so anyways,
we're not going there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
God, you know.
Okay, so
yeah, Mania Madness.
Madness 2, first week of March, and it's gonna go all the way down to WrestleMania week. I don't even know. I haven't really timed this out perfectly, but we're gonna figure this out. So
we might have to hot shot it. You never know.
This year is the best WrestleMania match of all time. I scoured the internet and I found
the interwebs,
the Dave Meltzer's ratings for all WrestleMania. Whoa, hold your horses there, buddy. And I did make some executive decisions because some of the older matches on here, like Hogan and Andre, Hogan and Warrior, some of the older matches, even Flair and Michaels was not on the list that I saw. So I did make some executive decisions to put some matches that I thought, like the ladder matches, the IC matches for WrestleMania 31 and WrestleMania 32 were on Dave's list. I think they're both like 4-2-5s. I took those off because, I mean, technically they might be a good match, but they're not historically significant like a Hogan Andre.
In Japan, they'd have 6 stars.
Exactly. So it's the first round, so a lot of matchups going on here, so it might take a little longer than the other one. So we're going to just march on through. So
we're at 22 minutes. We got time.
First off, we have probably the number 1 overall seed, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, going up against Rock and Austin from WrestleMania 19.
We're coming up on the 10-year.
So this one, I think obviously Taker and Michaels is the one to move on. It's going to take a lot for them to be dethroned. I really do like Rock and Austin. Honestly, I kind of like it more than their 17 match, but yeah. I will go with Taker and Michaels to move on to the next round.
I'm going Taker and Michaels too. We're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of that match. Brandon and I will be doing match commentary for it sometime in the near future. But, I mean, Rock Austin Mania 19, that was a good one. You know, it was Austin's swan song.
Yes, it was. So, next up, we have Money in the Bank from WrestleMania 21, the first Money in the Bank match, against the mixed tag match from WrestleMania 34 of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, going up against Ronda Rousey in her debut, and Kurt Angle. This one is kind of hard. Obviously, we have WrestleMania 34 just happened last year. It's more fresh in our minds. Money in the Bank, a little bit more historically significant. So, Philip, what do you say?
When I saw that mixed tag before the show, I was like, this fool really put Miz and Maurice versus Cena and Bella on here? I didn't look at the 34.
I have everything
I was tripping.
Numbered out. So, if you want to, you go to our Twitter or our Instagram, and we have the full PDF of this bracket. You can fill it out, share it with us, tweet us, message us on the Instagram, slide us into the DMs. Maybe, yeah, you know, whatever. Because everyone who listens to this probably has our phone number because they're like our mom or something. But who knows? So, Money in the Bank versus the mixed tag match from last year.
Money in the Bank.
Just why?
I mean, it's the first. I'm a fan. Money in the Bank.
Never forget your first.
Look, that's my favorite match ever. So, and plus, what it means, you get an opportunity at the title. It's awesome.
So I will agree. I think Money in the Bank much more historically significant. I think technically it was a better match. A lot of high spots and all that other stuff. WrestleMania 34, this was probably the best match of last year's Mania, but maybe not as good as the Money in the Bank match. So, next up, we have Brett versus Owen from WrestleMania 10, the first of the two matches Brett had to wrestle because of the whole Royal Rumble situation with Bret Hart and Lex Luger, going up against the main event of WrestleMania 24, Edge and The Undertaker. This one is maybe a little harder, but not one of Undertaker's best matches, but still a very good match. Bret and Owen was on that same WrestleMania as Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels, so maybe it doesn't get as much praise as it should, but still a very good match nonetheless.
I love Edge to death, but I'm going Bret and Owen. I mean, the story that those guys told, brother versus brother, at the biggest stage that you can ever have it. Owen getting the win over Bret, only for him to be overshined by his brother later on when he won the world title. I mean, I think the stuff Edge and Taker did later on in their rivalry with that like TLC match and the Hell in a Cell, I think that stuff was better than the Mania match, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll be honest. Like this Taker Edge match, it might be the only match on this entire thing that I don't think I've ever really seen this match.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it was with Bam Neely, Chavo, and the Edgeheads running down and everybody getting involved.
So I will take your word on it. So I will go with Bret and Owen as well. I have seen this match; it's fantastic, technically sound. And
watch someone to go home after this.
So next up, another Shawn Michaels match. I feel as though every Shawn Michaels WrestleMania match is on this bracket. They don't call him Mr. WrestleMania for no reason.
Exactly.
We have the triple threat from WrestleMania 20: Triple H, Chris Benoit, and Shawn Michaels going up against possibly the most famous WrestleMania main event of all time, WrestleMania 3: Hogan and Andre.
Oh my God.
So if we're going this is all kind of comes down to technicality for what you call best WrestleMania match. Obviously, WrestleMania 3 is more historical, but WrestleMania 20 a much better technical match.
Yeah, absolutely. I just watched WrestleMania 3 like the other day, that match. So, I mean, they moved business. It's all in the Andre documentary, but I mean, I got to go with that triple threat, man. I mean, Hunter, Shawn, and of course Benoit, the coronation, the 17-year odyssey of him winning the world title, and then Eddie coming out with his world title and them hugging. That's an awesome moment.
Yeah, I'll go with the triple threat as well. This was one of those matches, the Hogan-Andre match, that I threw in there just because of how historical it is. I mean, obviously, you go back and you watch it, it's not that good of a match. I mean, it all just kind of builds to the slam that Hogan does, we've seen a million times. The triple threat match, it has a special place in my heart, WrestleMania 20, the first ever pay-per-view I ever watched in my lifetime. So it always has a special place in my heart, even though it's a Benoit match, so that always kind of muddles it a little bit for me, but I'm still going to go with that triple threat.
Yes.
So next up, another two Shawn Michaels matches going up against each other. I don't even know this is the only time we're going to see this, but we have Undertaker and Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 26.
Ooh.
Michaels' last match up against Cena and Michaels from WrestleMania 23.
Wow. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with 26 because I feel like the match they had later, like a few weeks later on that Raw that went an hour. Cena and Michaels, I feel like that was better than their Mania match.
I mean, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels 26 is even argued this might be even better than the 25 match just because of the emotion that it has because of Shawn Michaels being his last match ever. I will go with 26. I think that match was fantastic. I mean, I'm be honest, maybe even this might be more watchable. It's more rewatchable than 25 is. I think it has a lot of high spots. It has a lot more emotion because it is his last match. So I will go with 26 as well.
Really?
So for the most part, we are agreeing on everything. If we do disagree on one or multiple,
I have a coin.
We have a coin, or we can always just send it to Twitter and the people could decide.
Kennedy's the deciding factor.
Okay, so next up we have another triple threat match. This one from WrestleMania 30.
Ooh.
We have Batista, Bryan, and Orton going up against another match I had to throw in there because of how historical it is. Hogan and Rock from WrestleMania 18. A lot of just staring and glaring at each other. Not a whole lot of working. But the crowd made the match for what it is. WrestleMania 30, also a match that kind of made the crowd made the match. But it was kind of hampered by The Undertaker losing. So the crowd was not as hot as it should have been. So
still pretty hot.
another difficult match, I would say, to determine.
I just watched that match again like a few days ago. Hogan and Rock, the match with the sound off is absolutely terrible. I've watched it like that with the sound on. It's amazing. I'm going with that triple threat. Miracle on Bourbon Street. WrestleMania becomes YesleMania. Connor, he's there ringside. You got to see his hero win the World Championship. All that tied into the 9-month feud that he had with the Authority. It all just makes sense.
So once again, I will go with Batista, Bryan, and Orton. I do think, as you said, the Hogan Rock match it's kind of an anomaly. It's not exactly a technical match, but it's just the crowd was going absolutely bananas.
It's a clashing.
And right now we don't have any upsets. I would say every one of these matches are kind of the higher ranked match we've picked thus far.
Last year we had so many upsets.
But this year we have the TLC 2 with the Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian going up against another triple threat match, which was from WrestleMania 32, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair. So, our first women's match. Only 2 women's matches are on this entire card, are on this tournament. This is the first one.
Okay. So, wait, repeat them to me again?
So, we have the TLC 2 from WrestleMania 17, or we have the triple threat, the women's triple threat from WrestleMania 32.
Well, I mean, that women's match was the best match on that WrestleMania card. But I'm going to go with the TLC match. Historical purpose, historical value. Because, with Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte, they haven't even really scratched the surface to what they can do. I mean, sure, it was the ending of the Divas era and then becoming women again, but, I got to go with TLC.
I mean, I will go with TLC as well. It's a historical match, as you said, high spots galore. It's maybe dangerous looking back on it about what we know now, but it's a very fun match to see. And I think if we were to see these women go at it again at next year's WrestleMania, I think they could even top this match.
Yeah, I think it would be a whole lot better.
So now I think this one might be our first upset. We have Undertaker and CM Punk from WrestleMania 29. Undertaker's last great wrestling match, you might say, up against Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 6. Another match I had to throw in there because old Davey Boy did not give this one enough stars for my liking. I will go with Hogan and Warrior. I think this is the best This is the one of the.
Ultimate
this
Warrior
is one
match?
of the best Mania. This is one of the best matches Ultimate Warrior ever had. I mean, shout out Pat Patterson and everyone else who was involved in booking this stuff. I mean, you go to Halloween Havoc, whatever it was, 98, when they did this again, and you see Hogan and Warrior have this exact same match, and it just was the drizzling. You know what it was?
It was boo-boo. I mean, Warrior's best match to me. When did he face Savage? Was that WrestleMania 7?
Well, we will go. We have this on the card. We can go back to it. We can go. Or did I actually no? I think I took it off. I took the Hogan Warrior. I put Hogan and Warrior in for Savage and Warrior, I believe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
You really want me to choose a Hulk Hogan match?
You can pick whatever you want. We can leave it up to the coin.
I'm gonna go Hogan Warrior.
There we go. First upset of the night.
It was the passing of the torch, and plus the Punk and Taker match, as good as it was, I feel like the one he had the year prior was better.
I felt like that Punk Taker match. Maybe I had a little too much expectations. This was kind of like the first signs of Taker possibly slowing down a little bit. It's had CM Punk, which, I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers of his time, so he was able to take Taker to that next level. But I think
he was the best in the world at one point in time.
But now we all know that's Shane McMahon.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
So next up, we're going to the other side of the bracket.
Hey-o.
We have probably a no contest here. We have Bret Hart going up against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Submission match. WrestleMania 13 up against the hardcore match of Mick Foley and Edge. I think obviously it's going to be Bret Hart versus I almost said Shawn Michaels. We're going to get to that one a little bit later. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, one of the best wrestling matches of all time.
You know what? Look, Mick Foley, I've seen him do some crazy stuff, but Stone Cold taught me don't trust anybody. I got to go with Steve Austin.
All right. So moving on, we have two recent classics. We have Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar, plus the Seth Rollins cash-in at WrestleMania 31, up against WrestleMania 30's first match with Daniel Bryan in it. Ooh. Triple H and Daniel Bryan. I will go with WrestleMania 31. I know I am a little biased here because I was there, but I think Triple H and Bryan was a better match than the triple threat that ended the show. But I think that Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match, just that match, but before the cash-in, was fantastic. Add the cash-in on top of it, one of the greatest run-ins of all time, second greatest run-in of all time according to What Culture. I'm going to go with Reigns against Lesnar plus Rollins.
The 30 match with Hunter and Bryan, I feel like I like that more than the triple threat that happened later on in the night. But that 31, that was awesome. I got to go with that. That was absolutely awesome. Seth Rollins, my second favorite cash-in.
Next up, we have another Michaels face-off. We have Shawn Michaels against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21, and we have Shawn Michaels against Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 19.
Ooh.
Two technical matches, pretty much the same match in terms of the actual in-ring stuff, just a lot of technical stuff.
There was more intensity with the Angle one.
I could say that, but you could also say that there was a lot of storyline going into the Jericho one as well, with Jericho trying to be the next Shawn Michaels and just kind of turning on him and all that other stuff. So, going to you, who would you pick? Shawn Michaels.
That's crazy. I mean, WrestleMania 19, my favorite one of all time, but I got to go with that Angle match. I have to. That Angle match was something else, man.
You know what? I think we're going to go with our first coin flip of the day. I will go with Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho. I really do enjoy that match.
So heads Angle, tails Jericho?
Sure, why not? Here we go. We're going to go first coin flip of the tournament, and it is heads. So it is Kurt Angle against Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 21. Moving on, and next up we have another Shawn Michaels match. Jesus. We have Shawn Michaels against Bret Hart WrestleMania 12 in that 1 hour Iron Man match, going up against Savage and Steamboat WrestleMania 3. I think that Shawn Michaels hour-long match with Bret Hart, one of the most overrated matches of all time.
Excuse me.
No doubt in my mind.
Boyhood dream.
Savage, Steamboat, way better than Hart and Michaels. You're even lucky I didn't take this off. I was contemplating throwing this match out of here.
Wow, that's the boyhood dream, you know? But then we have on every WrestleMania, we're like, what's going to be the Savage Steamboat match, you know? What's going to be...
Exactly.
I'm going to go Savage Steamboat.
You're damn right you go Savage Steamboat.
Sean, I'm sorry.
So next up, don't worry, we have another Shawn Michaels match to talk about. We have Shawn Michaels against Razor Ramon in that ladder match, going up against Asuka versus Flair. Charlotte Flair, that is, from last year's WrestleMania.
That was the best match on that card.
Another difficult one. I mean, I do like Asuka and Flair, but I think Ramon and Michaels, for what it was, we've seen so many ladder matches in the past, present, future, and it can still hold up to current ladder day matches. What the hell am I trying to say here? Too much talking. This is what happens when you put me in charge as the quote-unquote host. I can't do it. We have Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. I will go with them.
There you go. I'm going with the bad guy.
There we go. So okay, here we go. Taker and Triple H from WrestleMania 27.
Boom.
Up against Savage and Flair from WrestleMania 8. I mean, I can see 27 going on. So we'll go with that one as well. And then we have WrestleMania 28 with Taker and Triple H going up against another Shawn Michaels match with Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. A lot of emotion going on with this one as well.
I'm sorry. I love you. Kick in the jaw. Super kick pedigree. By God, they've done it. The streak is over. I'm going with 28.
I'll go with 28 as well. I mean, fantastic. A lot of emotion in both of them, but I think the match itself was better in 28. So now we have Rock and Asuka from WrestleMania 17 against Angle and Lesnar from WrestleMania 19.
Angle and Lesnar.
Well, I'll go with Rock and Asuka from 17.
What?
So he can flip the damn coin.
Are you kidding me? The shooting star press.
He botched that. It is one of the most famous
match
botches
had
of all.
everything. It was a brawl. It was a technical classic. It had a big spot. It was...
But then WrestleMania 17 has its own botch as well because Stone Cold turned on the WWF and sided with Vince McMahon, the devil himself.
It's not a botch.
That's a total botch. So anyways, flip the damn coin for the last match and see who...
All right, heads, Angle, tails, Austin.
All right, here we go. See, if Angle wins again, Angle does win again. BS. So now we have Angle and Lesnar moving on. So next week we'll have round 2. This one is going to be probably maybe just as long, but harder to determine because now it seems as though every single top match went on to the next round. So let's move on. We took too much damn time on that.
I will be all right.
And let's talk about current day wrestling.
Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Ronda Rousey silences Becky Lynch. You know, so Charlotte and Becky are out there. Becky's about to sign a hold harmless agreement because Stephanie said the title had been vacated and that those two were going to fight for the Raw Women's Championship at Fastlane. 2 SmackDown people wrestling for a Raw Championship. Anyway, Ronda Rousey comes out there, takes her title back. She says, "You people booed me in my hometown. You've turned on me. Damn the man. Screw the woo. No more Mrs. Nice Biatch." And she just went for it, started attacking Becky Lynch, put her in that armbar multiple times, and apparently she kept beating her up for a few more minutes after Raw went off the air. What are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey?
I've already said it. She went full-blown Russo here. A lot of stuff on this Raw, a lot of kayfabe breaking, you might say. I think Ronda Rousey, she's just been talking. She talks way too fast. She has way too much stuff to say.
That's the thing.
I don't blame her. I blame her. Well, I partially blame her. I blame her and the writers in this whole process of scripting out everything. But I mean, did I not say a few months ago that Ronda Rousey has some heel tendencies that I've seen from her UFC days? And it seems as though it's coming out. So I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Look, I'm not going to blame the speech impediment she has as a kid, but like she speaks too fast, she has much mouth. All she had to do was go out there and say, "Give me my damn title back. You people turned on me. Damn the man, screw the woo, no more Mrs. Nice Biatch," and then just start.
That last part was the worst part of the entire promo because it was just so fake.
Look, just start. That's all she had to say. Just start throwing hands and beating people down. She doesn't need to speak. She doesn't need a monologue. She's not Hunter. She can't go out there and do a 20-minute promo. Give her 3 sentences at most, and then that's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, I think they've complicated this matchup a
This
lot
is
more
so
than
convoluted.
Yes, it is. It's so much more complicated than it needs to be.
I mean, really, look at it.
I mean, adding Charlotte to it makes it worse, but now you're putting on all these different moving parts of like Becky and Ronda were like, well, Ronda was being friends to Becky last week, and now she just completely turns on her. I don't know if the Twitter thing has anything to do with it, but
this story was hot as hell, and you can't teach that. I threw an Enzo thing out there. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. Anyway, look.
I mean, we're talking about Survivor Series, so might as well talk about Enzo.
Yeah, I saw that thing he put up there. He put George the Animal Steel instead of King Kong Bundy.
I mean, they looked exactly the same.
No, they didn't. Anyway, look, my point is...
I mean, we all remember King Kong Bundy would eat the turnbuckles.
Okay. Look, Becky, she won the Rumble. She chose Ronda. That's just that simple. Vince came out there, changed things, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you know that suspension where you may have actually been gone for." She was really only gone for like maybe a couple days.
Well,
out of that whole suspension.
Vince overrules Stephanie, and then Stephanie overrules Vince. So what the hell is the power dynamic here? And people are overruling.
Whoever is on TV overrules the other one. That's how the McMahon family works. All right, so look, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They still have time to save it. There's still time, but look, since Ronda and that thing she did on YouTube, I think she should really no-sell at WrestleMania. Really just no-sell it. And then Charlotte or Becky takes a chair or a kendo stick to Ronda and just starts... The way Charlotte beat Ronda at Survivor Series, I mean, you were there for that. Well, did that look brutal and awesome? Tell me the truth.
I mean, it was... I don't know if I'd say it was brutal and awesome. It was very hard hitting. I mean, for me, I was much more interested in like the entire atmosphere because I was kind of with Ronda. Like I was expecting the crowd to cheer her and just be behind her, but then no, they completely turned on her. I was like, okay, this is very interesting. And then Charlotte starts wailing on her. They're trying to build sympathy for Ronda, and the crowd is having none of it. They're just booing her even more. So
like they need to beat her down with a weapon and be like, is it fake now? Is it scripted now? Yada yada yada.
No, you don't do that.
What? I don't know.
You don't go full Russo, and they're going full blown Russo right now.
Look, man. I don't know. She needs to no sell if they're gonna really go with this angle. Then
No, because I was gonna get to this when you go to Triple H, but when you make this thing real, it makes everything else around you fake, and it makes it so much harder to get invested in other stuff. So you can't be like, oh, this is fake, blah blah blah, and then when you you have a work shoot match at the WrestleMania main event, which what it seems as though is what's gonna be doing. I say you don't do no work shoot stuff in the ring, especially outside the ring. I still wouldn't do it, but it works a little bit better. But no. Shut it down.
Look, I don't know. We have a couple more weeks. Let's see if they fix it. I'll save all the real hot takes for the go home show.
We're what, 4 weeks away till WrestleMania?
Yeah. Or if they piss me off anywhere in between, we'll see. All right, Roman Reigns, he wants the Shield to reunite. So the moment between Seth and Roman opening up the show, cutting the promo, that was fine. And then, there was a moment where they hinted at Roman possibly, trying to get into that match with Brock. And I heard a couple boos. They were like, boo, oh wait, no, he just came back from cancer. Yay, boo, yada yada yada. Anyway, but Roman's like, I'm not gonna do that. But he wants to ride with his brothers one more time. He wants one last stand. Seth said, the look on his face was like, really, man? But he's like, you know what, you're right. So Dean comes out there, gets smacked in the back by a guitar with Elias. We move forward to Elias defeating Dean Ambrose. And the makeshift League of Nations comes out there. And they start attacking Roman and Seth. And then Dean, he's going up the stairs and he's contemplating. He just runs down and they take care of business. They do the fist thing. What are your thoughts on all this?
Okay, so the Roman Reigns portrayal, the way he's been acting the last last couple weeks, I think it's been fantastic. I think Roman has come across great. We're gonna have to see where we are in 6 months. If he gets pushed down our throats again, maybe we're gonna be right back to where we started a year ago.
You can't boo a man that overcame cancer.
I mean, yes, you can.
Wow, that's terrible.
But you're not booing the cancer. You're booing the man. Who cares about if he's had cancer or not?
Wow.
But anyways, I think Roman's been very good. I thought Seth was kind of put in an awkward situation to where this whole Dean Ambrose thing has been just a complete another mess to where he kind of has to, just look past all the terrible things Dean Ambrose has done just because they're kind of putting the reset button on Dean Ambrose and just putting them all together. And for anybody who says, oh, this whole Dean Ambrose thing is all a work, he's going to come back and sign with the company. I mean,
Discuss that on Work or Shoot.
The man is losing to Elias. He's losing like almost all of his matches. Why would you do that if this is all a work and he's trying to leave? Like, you don't do that to someone who's going to be around for the foreseeable future.
Okay, so my real question is, what are your thoughts on the Shield getting back together right now?
I don't have a problem with it. If this is Dean Ambrose's last hurrah, have the gang get back together, have a nice little happy ending. Maybe Dean and Roman tag at Mania, but it all seems as though it's going to be Roman versus Baron Corbin. So our man, that guy who used to sit over there, is going to finally get his chance to see Roman and Baron Corbin tear the house down.
I got some ideas. All right. So look, what's happening here? This is us finally getting that real Shield reunion. There've been injuries, there's been sickness. We never really got that, so I guess that's what's happening now. They're trying to pay off something that happened a couple years ago. That's okay for WWE, and I support that. Okay, but look, I want to see Dean and Roman really go at it. So let's fantasy book in the damn territory. Let's see. Let's say the Shield wins. They're standing tall. Dean hits a dirty deeds on Roman. The next night on Raw, I gave you what you wanted. You wanted us back together one last time. You got that. Now I want something. He wants to win over Roman. Set it up for WrestleMania. Roman versus Dean. If Dean's really leaving, let's get that match.
I'm not against. I've heard rumblings of people speculating that Dean's going to turn and it's going to have Dean versus Roman at WrestleMania. You can do that, but then that also is kind of putting Dean in a. I don't know what they're going to do with Dean at WrestleMania. Like, do you put him?
Dean can get really dirty with him.
But do you put him in kind of a high up WrestleMania match to where it's like Roman Reigns' first singles match since having cancer, or do you kind of just throw him in an Andre the Giant Battle Royal? Do you just kind of sweep him under the rug and then he just disappears until he shows up at Double or Nothing in May?
No, you don't do anything like that. Let him go against Roman, or if that's not the route they want to go, I have another idea: Roman and Cena.
I think I know what they're doing with John Cena. We'll get to that on SmackDown.
I think I know too. But it's interesting to see, what's going to happen. We'll talk about that more once we get to Fastlane. What else happened on Raw? Triple H addresses Dave Bautista's actions. So, Triple H told Batista that what you did, you didn't just attack Ric Flair, you attacked Richard Fliehr. The man behind the Nature Boy, and all this other stuff. And Hunter says, I'll come to your house, Dave. You can come to mine. You can come to any building that I'll be at. I will be there. I'll give you what you want. You have my attention. And so apparently next week we get the Animal face-off with the Game.
I thought Batista's Instagram promo that he had last Monday was very good. I thought he's just
simple and sweet.
Yes, it's simple, sweet. He's just kind of like that laid back, almost kind of like, The Rock Hollywood type villain. I thought he was very good. The Triple H promo, I thought it was good up until a point. I mean, he kind of broke kayfabe with the whole, Richard Flair, Ric Flair type thing, which I was okay with. I was kind of weary about it. But then at the very end was like, oh, this is the man talking, not the character. I'm going to come and beat your ass and blah, blah, blah. Then that's when it just took me over the edge, and he broke kayfabe, he broke character. It took me out of the moment. I was like, oh yeah, this is all fake, and who really cares about this? So I was not a fan.
Hunter's been breaking kayfabe since '96.
Yes, and I don't think you should be doing that, especially when you're trying to build up this blood feud, and then by the end you're telling us all this is all fake, anyways.
Oh, it's real. It's as real as it can be. I mean, I look at it. Moving forward with this, Batista, let him play up the Hollywood star angle. He needs to have security. And no, not those guys with the collared shirts and not the developmental kids. He needs to have real hired help. WWE, they're getting a lot of money. They can afford real hired help. And Batista and Hunter do not need to touch until WrestleMania. Nope. I mean, they can have a pull apart, but they don't even touch. They don't touch, It's Hunter trying to get to Batista, and he just can't do it. And he's getting dragged away.
Are people even going to mention, he just tore his pec a few months ago? What is...
He mentioned it in the promo.
I know, but, what is Triple H's health status anyways? Can he even, do something like that? If they were to, have a pull-apart, could he even do something like that? Or do we have to, kind of put him in a bubble until WrestleMania happens? I don't even really know what his health status is.
If he's only ready to go at Mania, then they don't touch at all. That's perfect.
I know. I was just thinking, he tore his pec, 4 or 5 months ago, and it's he's back like it's nothing.
Maybe he's like Cena. He just heals super fast. You never know. All right, Bobby Lashley, Corbin, and McIntyre defeat Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, and Kurt Angle. I don't care about this, to be honest with you.
Me neither. I don't really care about this at all.
Natalya defeats Ruby Riott. Congratulations.
Good for Natalya.
Heavy Machinery defeat the toy collectors of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, then the B Team and the Ascension in a tag team gauntlet match. Cool beans.
Good for Heavy Machinery. They're kind of getting the best push at all the NXT people being called up.
I know, right? Tamina defeats Sasha Banks. Shout out Tamina. Making it happen.
I don't understand why you have Tamina be the one who wins and then have Nia Jax be the one who loses, but this is probably just foreshadowing to Tamina losing at Fastlane, so it doesn't really matter.
Alright, the Revival, they defeat Ricochet and Aleister Black in a Raw Tag Team Championship match via disqualification as Roode and Gable turn heel.
I mean, I'm excited for this match at Fastlane. I mean, Roode and Gable being heels, I think that can be kind of interesting.
Heel Bobby Roode, I love it.
I mean, Ricochet and Black, I think they're fantastic. I wish they were singles guys, but if they are put in this predicament, it is what it is.
The one and only in the Dutch Destroyer.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Smackdown Live. The new Daniel Bryan with his eco-friendly WWE Championship, and Rowan behind him, trailing behind him. They have a promo, then they're interrupted by Kevin Owens. It gets a little physical. Owens is going for a stunner, and then he gets caught in Rowan's claw slam, setting up Rowan versus KO later on in the night.
I actually liked the promo between Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan. I thought Daniel Bryan was a good heel. Kevin Owens was a good babyface. I think you could tweak him a little bit to where he's not so sappy and with the fans. He still kind of has that hard edge that he had as a heel, but now he's on he's on the fan side.
Absolutely.
But I think overall I thought it was a good solid promo from both these guys. Good way to start off Raw or SmackDown, whatever show we're doing. I don't even know. NXT 205 Live.
NXT UK, NXT India. Apparently that's happening. All right, we have The Miz defeating Jey Uso. The Usos cut a very nice promo on SmackDown before this.
Yeah, they cut a good, intense promo. Not saying the whole police incident a few weeks ago was a good thing, but it does kind of add to the credibility, to be honest. And the crowd was kind of turning on Miz and Shane a little bit, so that's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, going to Cleveland, Miz's hometown, so they're probably going to be a lot more courteous to Miz and McMahon. But
especially when his dad ringside, because Miz has daddy issues.
And we have to see what happens there.
Exactly. All right, Charlotte has a backstage promo inviting Becky to come into the ring, and they have a little face-off. Nothing much there. And then probably the biggest news from SmackDown, R-Truth, he puts the U.S. title on the line in another open challenge, just like his hero, John Cena. And Mysterio, Almas, and Joe answer the challenge. And ladies and gentlemen, finally, Samoa Joe won some gold on the main roster. Samoa Joe is the new United States champion. The longest reigning Ring of Honor champion is now the United States champion.
Yeah, I thought this was a good match from them, from all four guys in the ring.
Awesome.
Maybe could have had Joe pin R-Truth. I mean, he's R-Truth. Does it even really matter that he doesn't get pinned? Like,
Well, of course he matters.
just pin R-Truth. He's not doing anything. Do you have to pin? I don't even know who did he pin. Almas or
Yeah.
he pinned Almas. I mean, once again, Almas eating another pin. I mean, R-Truth is R-Truth. Just pin the man, and I mean, it's probably just going to set up a little mini feud of them, either leading up to WrestleMania or after WrestleMania. But I did like the promo afterwards. Joe cut was absolutely fire, calling out John Cena a little bit, which is foreshadowing possibly to what I think is going to be Joe versus John Cena at WrestleMania. John versus Drew McIntyre is rumored. Honestly, I'd much rather see Joe versus Cena because they have the backstory of them wrestling down in SoCal as trainees.
Exactly.
So much history between these guys. Something
and Joe
we
puts him to sleep.
Well, exactly. I mean, something we want to see if Cena is just as you said, kind of in and out, and Joe's gonna put him over, or Joe's gonna win. I'm all for this.
See, this is the thing, man. Joe, he's always been credible, whether he was in Ring of Honor or TNA. If he had beaten Brock in that feud, the U.S. Universal title may have had some real credibility. I love AJ Styles to death. Looking back at it, he probably should have got a win at Super Showdown and beat him and became world champion. I'm happy for Joe. Hopefully we get Joe versus Cena. The promos, they're going to be good, and then the match, I feel like it'll be very good. Moving on from that, Ricochet and Aleister Black go on to defeat the Bar, and then Rusev and Nakamura come out there and start attacking, and then the Hardy Boys, kicking it like it's 1999 with their attire, come out and help out Ricochet and Black.
Yeah, just kind of straightforward stuff. Ricochet and Black being on both shows, even though they're in like the heat of the tag team championships on Raw. So if they do win on Sunday, does this mean they're just going to be strictly on Raw? Probably, but who exactly knows?
Yes.
Who knows? This whole brand split's a mess now.
Even though they still have NXT lower thirds.
They're still in the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
Yes, and that's the rule of Classic. I'm not going to go there. So Mandy Rose, God's greatest gift. She goes on and defeats Naomi.
Did not drop her on her head. So good for her.
And then you're not ready for her. Asuka, she beats it down. She beats down Sonya Deville. She beats down Mandy Rose, hyping up the title match this Sunday.
I'm so sad for what they've done to Asuka. No TV whatsoever since she's won the title at or regained the title at.
Brock's not there.
Well, I mean, she is there. She's at the TVs, and they don't do anything for her. And then she just comes out and then kicks Mandy and Sonya in the face with like
crowd popped for it.
Yeah, but there was like no real reason for why she did it. And I know she can't cut a promo or anything like that, but you could at least have her do squash matches. Like,
dude, just put Paul Heyman with her. It ended already. Make it happen. All right, so AJ Styles is backstage. He's cutting a promo talking about how it's unfair that Kofi got taken out of the WWE Championship match. Then Randy Orton shows up, and Orton's like, "You're talking about other people who deserve a championship match instead of you? I see why it took you 15 years to get here." So obviously, we're going Orton Styles at WrestleMania.
Whoop-de-doo, just what we thought and what we wanted.
It's gonna be a good one, man.
Randy Orton dragging AJ Styles down to a 2.5 maybe star match.
That's a 13-time World Heavyweight Champ. What are you down? Down. I just had a Soulja Boy moment. Jesus Christ. Look, Randy Orton and AJ Styles. It's going to be good. It's going to be.
It's going to be okay.
It's going to be good. Man, watch them steal the show. All right. Watch them.
I'll put that on the list down with Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns tearing the house down.
And AJ Styles can't steal the show.
I don't think so. When was the last time Randy Orton stole the show?
He's probably stealing the show at house shows all over the place, and we don't even see it.
I've seen Randy Orton at house shows. The best to be honest, the best house show match I've probably ever seen was Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton in a hardcore match, but that was more Daniel Bryan, and that was Randy Orton 5 years ago. Randy Orton now, he ain't doing nothing on a house show. I'll tell you that right now.
Randy Orton can still put it up. He
goes out there, gives you a chin lock, maybe sells a little bit, hits an RKO.
The chin lock isn't important to psychology. If I was a wrestler, I'd do nothing but chin locks.
Okay.
All right. Man, I'd be selling out the cow pals with chin locks. God damn it. All right, moving on from that.
Next AEW signing right here.
Cody can't afford it. I'm just playing. KO, he goes on to defeat Rowan due to disqualification because Daniel Bryan gets involved. And Mustafa Ali makes a return.
I mean, yeah, if it wasn't for Mustafa Ali getting injured, this whole Kofi Kingston thing would have never happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't understand
All
why
these old news now.
I don't understand why you just can't have Kevin Owens defeat Eric Rowan, or sorry, Rowan. If he's not, I mean, I don't think he's going to win at Fastlane. So if he's coming back, this is his first match back. Why don't you just have him beat Rowan? Like, come on, is it really that hard?
Bro, what if they shock us and have Kevin Owens win the WWE Championship?
I'm all for that too, but
Like, if you told me, like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years ago that Kevin Steen and Bryan Danielson would be fighting for the WWE Championship, I would have been like...
a hemp WWE Championship.
Yeah, I would be like, you're insane, you know? But
That's where we're at now.
that's where we are. And then Becky and Charlotte brawl.
It was fine. I thought it was good. Charlotte's been doing just fantastic heel promos recently. Becky was good. I did like how Becky got the upper hand on Charlotte because she's been selling so much recently with her selling her leg ever since the Royal Rumble.
I like how WWE can only afford one crutch. Like, everybody was a leg problem. They only have one crutch.
She should just like be like Cody and get a cane or something. Be big pimping. I can see Becky just walk around with a cane, just whooping everybody up. That'd be hilarious.
She really would be the man.
Put on like a mustache and a monocle and a top hat.
Okay, I don't think she needs to do all that.
I think she did. I mean,
She's not Godfather.
Go back to her steampunk days
Oh my.
with the cane.
God, I can't believe you just said that. Ladies and gentlemen, Fastlane predictions. Title's not on the line. We're saving that for the takeover.
And then I'll win it at NXT, and then I'll lose it at WrestleMania.
That's usually how it goes. All right, Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas is on the kickoff show. That is blasphemy, but they'll probably get 20 hot minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if they give him the time, it should be a really good match. Maybe if I am paying attention, maybe I'll watch it, but...
They could really... You know what? I just thought about this. Let's say Andrade wins. They could really stretch this to Mania. Hair versus mask. Mysterio wins. Andrade goes back to wearing a mask like he did in Mexico.
I don't know. I mean, he has a pretty face. I don't think you want to put a mask on him.
Yeah, Charlotte thinks so.
I will go with you, and I think Andrade will win, just maybe to bring this out, and I think Rey Mysterio's won like almost all the matches they've had, so
Yeah.
why not have Andrade win one that no one's going to watch, so it's going to be a shame that they're going to wrestle in front of like 5,000 people, but whatever.
Yes. All right. The Smackdown Tag Team Championship. The Usos defend against Miz and Shane. The Usos retain, then they go on to WrestleMania and face the Hardys.
Yeah, I'll go with the Usos winning as well. I think the intrigue on this match is who's going to turn on whom. I'm hoping, I know it's wishful thinking, I'm hoping Shane McMahon is the one that turns.
Shane McMahon's a likable guy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna go with Shane turning heel, because now I think Triple H going into WrestleMania, he's got to be a face. Stephanie is Stephanie, who exactly knows what is going on with her. So I think Shane's gonna turn heel. This whole McMahon regime is heelish, except for Triple H, because he's the godfather of NXT, and that's how we get Miz versus Shane at WrestleMania.
I don't know about that.
He's gonna beat up on Mr. Miz.
I don't know about that.
Because I mean, if Miz is turning on Shane and the dad is there, what does the dad do to like get heat on Miz?
Miz's dad walks Shane down the aisle at WrestleMania. Oh, I love it. That's great booking right there, man.
All right, if you say so.
All right, the Raw Tag Team Championships, the Revival, they defend against Aleister Black, Ricochet, and then the team of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. The Revival better retain these damn titles.
I'll go with Aleister Black and Ricochet.
What?
Just because I think they're booking them very strong, and this is my sleeper match of the card. Dude. If they are given at least 12 minutes, I mean, this match could be fantastic. I mean, all of these guys are going to be super motivated to do something. The Revival have been held back. Aleister Black and Ricochet, they're fantastic. They're going to do whatever they want. Roode and Gable are freshly turned heels. They're going to want to show some stuff. So I'm really looking forward to this match. I'm hoping it gets at least 12 minutes.
Yes, absolutely, freaking. All right, the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Asuka defends against God's greatest gift, Mandy Rose.
God, it better be Asuka. Maybe we get something with Lacey Evans, and we're going to get Asuka versus Lacey Evans at WrestleMania. God help us.
Dude, just give us Nikki Cross versus Asuka at WrestleMania.
I would love that much better than Lacey Evans, but Lacey Evans is bound to do something.
My heart wants Mandy Rose.
Mrs. Sexy Gloves.
But my brain tells me that Asuka's going to walk out with the championship. All right, moving on from that. The Women's Tag Team Championship, the first ever, notice the air quotes, tag team champions. The Boston Hug Connection go up against Jackson, Tamina, Sasha, and Bailey win,
As they should.
as they should. Sasha's finally going to retain a title in the main roster.
Sasha, I'm still working on that girl.
What if she doesn't? I'd be like, oh my god,
And she gets pinned.
they've ruined. Oh my god, they've ruined her. You know, Sasha and Bailey making their way to NXT.
That should be fun. I mean, I'm happy that they're not going to have NXT women's tag team titles, so.
You know, it's kind of weird. It's like watching Bailey go back to NXT. It's like that person that went off to college and then they go back to their hometown and they go back to their old high school and they visit their teachers. It felt kind of like that.
I didn't realize how big Izzy's gotten. She's old. She's like 12 or something.
God, yeah, Izzy.
She ain't no baby no more.
I know. She's not crying for Bailey no more.
Well, actually, she was crying for Bailey. She was crying when they came back.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Watch the product, Philip.
All right, the Shield, the Hounds of Justice, the Big Dog Roman Reigns, the Architect Seth Rollins, and the Lunatic Fringe Dean Ambrose. They ride together one last time, and this better be the last time. No once in a lifetime, then we get it the next year at Mania. This is the last time ever that they need to ride together, if that's the real case. They go up against the Scottish Terminator Drew McIntyre, former Constable Corbin, and the almighty Bobby Lashley. The Shield, man. I'm going with my Hounds.
Yeah, I think the Shield is going to win. Just give them a happy ending. I don't think Dean's going to turn. I don't think they're going to do that. Just give the crowd what they want, especially with these last matches. Maybe not a super fun finish if the WWE Championship is main eventing, so go with the Shield.
Yes. All right, the last kicker, Becky Lynch and the Queen, Charlotte Flair, go at it. If Becky wins, she is added to the match at WrestleMania, and it becomes a triple threat, Rousey, Flair, Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Becky.
Title's not on the line. I could just, say Charlotte for who really cares. But, I mean, yeah, I think Becky's going to win. Just keep it straightforward, have her be in the match. There's 4 weeks, you could do something to where she loses, but then for some reason, Stephanie puts her in the match. But just make it simple, have Becky win, and maybe Ronda comes out and, canes somebody, but...
Ronda just goes ape on one of them.
She goes full-blown Russo.
Yes. All right, the WWE Championship, the most coveted prize in the business. The new Daniel Bryan defends his Hemp Championship against a returning Kevin Owens.
I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan. I think maybe we get some shenanigans. I think Daniel Bryan squeaks away with the championship.
I'll go Kevin Owens for the hell of it.
I'll go with Daniel Bryan. Just have him win and probably lead to some sort of... I mean, if anything, it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. Or if you're right, Kevin Owens wins, but then that's going to be like a multi-man cluster mess, and here we go.
Yeah. Yes. All right, Superstar Spotlight. Who do we got? I have whoever has the best performance at Fastlane this weekend.
I'll go with Ronda Rousey just because I'll say it once again. She's gone full-blown Russo, and you never go full-blown Russo.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, promo pick of the week. Brandon, take it away.
So I saw this promo on Twitter last week, I believe. Scott Dawson. Shane Dawson? I don't even know what the hell his name is. Scott Dawson. One of the Revival people.
The one with the handlebar mustache.
I think one of the Revival people retweeted this, was like, oh, this is real wrestling. And it is a promo from Harley Race in 1983. He puts a $25,000 bounty on Ric Flair's head. He says anybody in the company who wants to attack Ric Flair and put him out of commission, he will give them $25,000. And I really love this promo, not only for the execution, but just the storyline. I wish WWE and other wrestling promotions did big overarching main event storylines where everybody in the company...
I want to see more bounties.
And more bounties will be fun as well. I mean, the last time we saw, Triple H kind of put a bounty on Goldberg's head.
No, I feel like JBL put a bounty on somebody.
And, something like that. But I wish, WWE and other wrestling companies, mostly WWE, would, have big main event matches to where kind of everybody just kind of talks about it, kind of like the Roman Reigns situation. Oh, AJ talked about, I'm glad Roman Reigns is back. It just kind of is nice to have, a cohesive unit and everyone just kind of talking about what is going on around them, somebody actually would be doing.
I feel like the last time they did that, they, Taker and Hunter and their series of matches back to back. There's YouTube clips of Arn Anderson, Big Show, Sheamus, Cena, basically the producers in the locker room at that time talking about how it's these two juggernauts of this era colliding for the last time. So stuff like that has been going on, but it's been a while. I like to see more. I get what you're saying.
Amen.
Yes. All right, the closed match pick of the week: the Immortal Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy for the WWF Championship, WrestleMania 2, April 7th, 1986. In the wake of the death of King Kong Bundy, I thought, how about we get the WrestleMania 2 main eventer in here? Backstory behind this: I was watching an interview with King Kong Bundy. I forgot how long ago this happened, but they were thinking about having Savage versus Hogan at WrestleMania 2, and Bundy was like, "No, f that, man. We're the main event." And I'm kind of glad he stood up for that, because if he hadn't have done that, we wouldn't have got the Mega Powers, and we wouldn't have got possibly the greatest story ever told.
Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania 2's kind of looked back on as kind of a failure. I mean, the whole 3-city situation did not work out too well.
Total of like 40,000 in attendance or something.
The Hulk Hogan King Kong Bundy match is not the best match in the world. I mean, it's the Hulk Hogan King Kong Bundy match. You can't exactly.
Bundy.
I mean, but they're two younger guys. I mean, it's not Andre to where Andre just couldn't work at all. Bundy was way more athletic than
Bundy
Andre.
was
so
458 and he was moving, man.
yeah, I mean,
I didn't know that.
it wasn't a great match, but it was probably better than the Hogan Andre match. Bundy, more athletic, younger as well. So, I mean, as we said, King Kong Bundy passed away. His most famous match is obviously that WrestleMania 2 main event.
Yes.
So go out. If you've never seen it, it's nothing special, but just look at it to be a historian.
He's part of the Heenan family. He's part of the $1 Million Corporation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram, The BulletCast, YouTube channel, The BulletCast. Email us, BulletCast2 is in the number 2, sweet, SWET at gmail.com, 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville, every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're all over the damn place. We're coming to you next week on Wednesday. We got some stuff planned, some more Mania Madness. This Sunday I will be doing a recap of Fastlane. Tune in to the top 5 this Saturday as we release one. Chris and I are discussing our top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. Thank you. Ta-ta for now.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.